I'm Seke, it's lovely to meet ya. This will be my first video on this channel, so I hope you want to stay. Today I am almost finished with my last sketchbook, my number 6. I only have about a few pages left in it, so therefore I will be painting my new sketchbook today. Painting the cover of it anyway. I have already sketched out a few thumbnails at the end of my last sketchbook of kind of what I want to do with it. So the one I have really liked the most is this one right here. It's one of my OCs, Samuel. He's kind of like an angel / devil OC, and I thought he just fit really well with like an eye in the background. I've got some bigger sketches on here in the back. So we've got this one where his wings are kind of folded together, while this one over here, his wings are more open. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the eye, since that one is rather easy to do. So yeah, just hang with me. I will be filming the voiceover on my actual PC, so I'm using a real microphone for this. Hopefully the sound is a bit better than my phone. But anyway, I just kind of started out with measuring where the center was, and then I sketched out the eye to make sure it was somewhat centered. Then I just did the little guy in the middle. I wanted his wings to kind of stretch out on the sides, but I realized his shoulders were way too thin. Like, his body is too thin, and the head is also too large, so I end up just fixing those two things. I ended up first trying out the idea with the open wings that kind of stretched out across the entire sketchbook, but I didn't really end up liking that very much. It just looked kind of off, so I just erased the entire thing and ended up going with the folded wings. It is finally time to start coloring, which is very scary. I remember being quite scared during this part because I've never used these markers before. I did not know how they would behave or what to expect with them. But once I kind of started going, I did find somewhat of a flow. I did, however, kind of have a trouble with the drying times of the pens. I know acrylic markers probably dries a little faster than some other markers, but I found that it kind of didn't. It just took so long for them to truly dry so that I could paint on top of them without everything blending together. You can actually see at quite a few parts of this that the lighter markers blends with the purple. Like here, you can see that it blends together and yeah, it just smudges. It definitely can be used to your advantage in some parts, but I just found it really annoying. I am, however, going to give the markers credit for how well they layer. Like, they are not very transparent at all. They really just covers everything. Sometimes they kind of get a little streaky, so you have to really put on multiple layers, but other than that, they look so well. Here you can also see that I took a bit too light of a color. I feel like the caps don't really match necessarily what color is inside, so I had a little bit of a struggle with that. But in the end of the day, it did turn out pretty decent, and I am very happy with it. Although the colors I used, I probably could have used more colors. I feel like it's a bit boring, but you know, I just gotta try more, I guess. I haven't used colors that much, so I still have a lot to learn. Covering large areas like this, it's so satisfying. Like, I don't think you understand unless you've tried it. The markers are like butter on the page, well, the cover. It's so satisfying to do. It's just amazing. After the cloak, I wanted to kind of get started on the hair, which I really wanted to emphasize the curls even though it's black hair. I wanted to kind of show the curls somehow, so I ended up making this little curly streak in the middle of the hair, like the face. That kind of went down on his face. I wanted to add some kind of red eyes later too, to really make the whole thing pop, but that's for later. I also got started on the wings, which I knew they should be black, but I'm not really good at feathers. So I just made like little triangle things down, which kind of works in a way, I suppose. But yeah, it was pretty satisfying to do. I really enjoyed this part, and I kind of want to do it again. I also made a little mistake under the wing there, so I just ended up going with it like, okay, we're doing another one on the other side. And I mean, you could almost think I meant to do it, you know? At this point, I also figured out you could use like water to blend it together, kind of. So I took like a brush for watercolor, and I just kind of used it like watercolor, I guess. So I started trying out different techniques with it, like the red on the wings. I wanted the eye to kind of reflect on the wings, sort of in a way, kind of glowing. So that ended up looking really cool. Even cooler than I thought, honestly. I ended up using that more on the wings, on the kind of feathers outside the wings as well. The cloak itself is kind of supposed to be looking like it's in water, sort of like it's just continuing like a shadow in the water. So I will be adding these kind of red streaks on the sides to emphasize the eye glowing in the back, and kind of give him a bit of a rim light around his body. At this point I also add the red on the wings outside, and if that just brought the whole piece together. Honestly, looks phenomenal. I also really like the purple detail I added on the wings. I'm trying to incorporate more colors and make it more interesting, but yeah, I'm doing the best I can. I also ended up embracing my previous mistake and just adding these little dots above the eye. At this point, I'm also trying out the kind of the edge that I'm supposed to write the number 7 in Roman numbers, like I showed you on the sketch earlier, like the little thumbnail. I was trying out which part I wanted to be thick and which part I wanted to be thin. And at first I kind of thought the one with the circle to be thick, but then I was like, no, definitely not. The first option looks so much better, so I just did that. At first I used the jelly pen, and then I used a bigger Posca pen for the thick part, which looked awesome. At this point I also kind of realized that the rectangle thing that I was thinking at first was boring and wasn't really working, so I thought, triangle. That looks so much cooler. I'm so happy I did that. Then I got started on the back of it, like the back part. I didn't want to do anything crazy, just like a circle with red and then the number 7. But I did kind of end up adding like black feathers on it, since it's just a circle with red and the 7 would look boring. So I kind of experienced it a little bit, and it turned out so much better than I thought it would. for the back of the sketchbook, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do anything really, but I ended up deciding on doing something anyway. At first, I wasn't really sure on what, but I decided in the end to make kind of like a feather pen with some ink. And that was pretty much the entire plan for the backside. So I just started kind of trying out. I had a reference photo on the side that I looked at since I wanted to make it more realistic, sort of. But yeah, it kind of ended as it did. I tried, is all I can say. I did kind of make the feather. The feather is supposed to be one of Samuel's feathers, so I mean it kind of fits with the front in a way. I decided to make a label to add on top of the container with the ink. I did kind of a little bit of an issue though with the white on top of the black. It just kept smudging into it and it was a nightmare. I just used it to my advantage then and make it look a bit more like aged, kind of like dirty, I suppose, which I do like, but it was still annoying. I ended up writing "keep drawing" on it to kind of be like, hey, don't close the book, keep drawing, don't be lazy. Then I also added a little bit of red ink spilling on the side, and it looked empty after that. So I ended up doing a text on the background that says, "Don't stop or else." It's more like it sounds very threatening. It's supposed to be a threat to me, like, do not stop drawing right now, you have responsibilities. And hopefully it works, I don't know, we'll see. With that, I have finally finished it. It took me a few hours, but I'm really happy with the result. So on the front, we have Samuel with his beautiful wings and the eye, and then there's a 7 up here inside the eye, everyone can see. And then we also have a 7, but in like the Roman numbers. So I was at first going to do like a square with these and then continue it up, but I thought it kind of looked good with the triangle part, so I ended up adding that. And yeah, he's pretty cool. Then if we go to the back, I have kind of like feathers, sort of. It's supposed to be like feathers anyway. And then the 7 inside the eye, kind of. It's similar to like I did on the front, so it would kind of match. And then I decided to do the back as well. So for the back, I did just a feather pen and some ink that's kind of spilled out of it, and it's kind of like a motivation as well, like don't stop or else, like keep drawing. Yeah, just to motivate me, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You can see if I can put it up, show the entire thing without ruining it. Well, here it is. I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out pretty awesome. This is the first time I've actually used acrylic markers as well, so I mean, it's not too bad for the first time. I did kind of mix around a little bit with the blending, and it was kind of 50-50. It didn't turn out super well, but I like it anyway, and I can't wait to start drawing in it. I'm probably gonna do 31 days of Halloween in it, which is going to be pretty much straight away. It's gonna be in the beginning of the sketchbook. I'm gonna try to do all 31 days, but I will be away for the end of October, and I will be working quite a bit, so I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to do. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my videos, and I really appreciate you staying till the end. I do hope you like the results. I'm quite happy with it, and maybe we'll see you again. Bye!